It's in my settings.
There you go. On.
Sean, the God can rise.
I would believe it. No cry zone. I would believe it.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
To me on my other page, so I would.
Yep.
So I'm gonna give a disclaimer first. You know, with the whole little, we're supposed to be spreading awareness about child abuse. Best believe that we will definitely get back to that after tonight. But I just want to add, it was weird that now you want to spread awareness, but when you went on live and talked about us, you wasn't spreading awareness. How did that work?
Thank you.
100% fact.
Okay, move. So, Tisha, you want to give another disclaimer? Are you good? Because we're gonna get into it in a minute.
I told y'all should have wrote it down for me because I was already under some influences. But yeah, we're not here. So how this is going to go, we're going to address things that have been put out or things that have been said. After today, it is dead. We're going to leave the past. We're going to leave all that other crap behind us because we all have moved on. Until we started hearing like little other things that have been going on, nah. And so we're going to put all of this to bed tonight. So if you are here for the truth, I hope you stay and you listen and you take everything in. Don't let anyone try and come and spin or manipulate the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to get to it tonight. And so after all of this is done, it's going to be dead or unalived. Not the person, but the situation.
Which it was. It was. Don't know why we're here. You know, we left you alone until you left us alone.
Yeah, we had all agreed that we wasn't gonna bring none of this to the app because it wasn't no use for it unless she called our names, and that's exactly what she did. So, since you wanted to come in and tell lies, it's only right for us to tell the truth. Because you're not gonna lie on my name. Because the one thing I do care about is my character, and I will not let anybody sabotage that or try to make it seem another way. So,
Hey, Cartel.
Cartel.
Hey, Madam M.
Hey.
I don't know who wears Cartel or Con with no shirts.
I don't know. I feel like they're about even.
Yeah,
I think they are about even.
About
They're
the same.
probably about even.
okay.
But yeah.
So in the beginning, with the show, it was fun. It was cool. We had the understanding that we had to stay out of drama, and that's what we did. We all just went into our own bubble and did what we wanted to do, and just made sure that the hurricane stayed out of trouble. Amongst that time, little did we know, when the show started, she was going back and forth between us from Zoom, being in Zoom, and then calling the producers nonstop, crying, asking them what she did wrong, asking them if it was anything she could do right. Like it was kind of obsessive and annoying for the producers, and that put a black cloud over everybody that had to do with Madame Rose. Like this is it's so ridiculous and so stupid because I don't do stuff like this. But along the way, there were times to where it was getting to where we had Zoom and she was like, y'all come in Zoom, come in Zoom, come in Zoom. All of us had jobs. So even though we wasn't there or we would come in and we would leave, there would be phone calls, there would be texts. Why did y'all leave me? Did I do something wrong? Come back to Zoom. Come back to Zoom. And at first it was fun. And then once it started to get to where she just wanted people in her space 24/7 and she didn't respect nobody else's space or boundaries or time, it started getting annoying. So there were times where people would make up excuses to not be in Zoom because it was getting to the point where it was annoying. And it also was like making advances towards some of the women in there. And even though you would be like, I don't like women, but do you? No offense, no nothing. I love it. If you love it, I love it. But if I tell you I don't do women, like I don't do that, it's not I'm married. No. But if you continue, it starts becoming to get annoying and uncomfortable.
Mhm.
It just is. Do y'all want to add anything before we continue on?
Yeah, I want to add something in. I'm gonna say like the stuff you're gonna hear tonight, it was pretty hard for me because I did treat Alicia like someone I care about, like family. Like I try to help her out. I really put myself out there for her because originally I was gonna stay a trophy. I never showed my face. I was always in the comments because my thing is making people laugh. So having this experience with Alicia literally destroyed me. But all in all, I'm just happy enough that I gained a family out of all this. Like these girls and Khan, my sisters and my brother. So that's the thing that I'm most grateful for.
We have Trey and Richard too, but they pop in whenever they
The
feel
Zoom
like
wasn't
it.
mandatory.
Oh yeah.
The Zoom wasn't mandatory. That was something we were doing to help keep our friend away from the TikTok drama.
So
Like,
she wouldn't lose her
we
contract.
removed ourselves for her.
So, also, there was a time to where we was realizing, like, once we started doing promos for our show, making videos, we had to make up topics, all of that. I ended up doing the topics, and I ended up making promos as well as Red, because we knew Tisha and Peggy was working, so it was like for that, just so that y'all can make sure that y'all don't get sidetracked from work. And with Alicia, we told her it would be nice to have the help. It would be nice for you to actually, to put your input in. Not just show up when it's time to record. And she would never do that. You could give subliminals and just beat around the bush to try to get her to do something, and she would not do it. She would make up an excuse or say her back was hurting or be asleep or whatever the case may be. It was always a reason why she could not help with everything until it was time to do meetings with the producers or record or any of that. So, there was one day that Khan got tired of it as well as we did. So Khan went to confront her. And once that happened, I'm going to tell my side on what she told me, and I'm going to let them tell y'all. When Khan confronted her, she called me that next morning, like 6 in the morning or 7, I don't know when it was, but it was in the morning. And she was like, Khan attacked me and told me that I was lazy, and he was screaming at me, and he was making it seem like I was such a horrible person. And she was just going on and on saying how Khan was just not being the person that he was, and he was yelling and he was being nasty toward her. And I was like, are you sure? Are you sure Khan did that? Like, we knew Khan was grumpy. That's just Khan. We love the grumpy Khan. That's it. But it just didn't sound right to me. So I just sat there and I listened and I talked to her, and I was like, oh, okay. So once we got finished with that phone call, I called Khan and I asked him what happened, because I was like, what did you do to Alicia? Like, she is really upset and crying. And he told me what happened, in which I have his recording here, which we're going to play, so I'm not going to say what he said, but he told me everything that happened. And I was like, well, that's a completely different story from what she told, because from what I understand, you had attacked her. It wasn't no calm or any kind of good conversation. And I realized she talked to Tisha, because Tisha was saying stuff, and I was like, hold on, maybe you should talk to Khan yourself to get his side of the story. So I'm gonna let Tisha move on and let her say her part.
Okay, so I was upset, and I've already expressed this to Khan, so he knew how I felt. Like, okay, well, what the heck is going on with Khan? Why is he acting this way? So the phone call I received, I think it was like a text first, like in the morning. And when I was like, okay, I'll call back, I called, and it was her and another individual on the phone as well. So being explained to me, Khan was like ripping her head off, yelling at her, telling her all the things she wasn't doing and how, slacker and, all of this information. Like he's yelling at her and pretty much telling her she ain't ish. That's how it was told to me. So of course, this person is supposed to be my friend, damn near sister. We all have gotten really close in this time. So I'm upset at Khan, and so I text Nisi, and I'm like, well, what the heck is going on? Like, why is he acting this way? And she was like, you know what? This one time, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to step out and pretty much say, you need to talk to Khan. You need to get both sides. You need to get both sides to this story, and that's exactly what happened. I called Khan, we discussed it, and what he told me, and he said it, this is the exact tone that I'm using. I'm like, well, what the heck? So that was in me, and I'm not sure who was called. I know Red was called next.
I was the last call that she made.
I think it was me then,
because
probably.
she had already told everybody else. I wasn't around for like a week and a half. But when I came back and went into the Zoom, she called me and was telling me how he just called her in the middle of the night and woke her up and was telling her that she's fucking lazy and ain't fucking doing shit, like ripping her a whole fucking new one. Excuse my French, sorry.
Please,
and I'm like, me and Khan had already had our fight, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, I know how his attitude is, so I believe it because Khan definitely can have an attitude. So I definitely didn't feel like I needed to talk to him and get his side of the story, which I'm wrong for sure. So we're all like, me and a person who shall not be named was like, okay, let's have a group meeting. And so something happened that night and we couldn't. Nisi and Pagan ended up texting me and telling me that we need to have a phone conversation with Khan. And then Khan explained it, and I'm like, that's the total opposite of what she explained to me. Like, it was the way you got at her was like you were like her dad and she was like on punishment or something. Like, it was crazy. But she told everybody a different story. I think, Pagan, what did she tell you? Then she was like, he just handled me wrong or something like that.
Yeah.
Like she told everybody a different story. And that's when we confronted her about that. And then,
it was, I know when I spoke to Connor,
we were trying to fix it beforehand.
Yeah.
We were family. That's what we do. We're not always going to get along, but we were trying to fix it beforehand.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I already spoke to Khan. So me and Khan already had discussions. Like, we felt that Alicia wasn't really pulling her weight on the show. So I would offer like suggestions. He would too. Like, Khan was really trying to give us ideas and just to promote the show, because we were having meetings where our producers are telling us we need to do this, we need to do that. Like, we should be getting the show out more so we get more views. And Khan's just out there, letting us know what we should do. And everything he said was correct. Like, we should produce videos with our faces on it, try to talk about topics. Like, Khan was not wrong with that. And he really was pushing us to do all that, to the point that it even brought me out of my shell and actually doing some content here and there. But the thing with Alicia, she didn't realize that, and we've said this time and time again, and it never got through her head. We are not trying to destroy you. We obviously cared about you to the point that we're trying to make the show a success for you. It wasn't about any financial gain. It was all for her to support herself and her family. We wanted her to win. We wanted her to do better. We wanted her to just forget about all that TikTok drama. But in reality, it never went to her head. And I believe all of that really just put in motion her self-sabotage.
Yeah, and it's like, it's many things, like financially, she was a contract, but we were also supposed to get paid as well. Well, we did, but we did. But how it actually happened, like we were fine with her just taking all of the money because she was the one who was technically on the contract, who was signed. We were the co-hosts. We were also, but we were like, you know what, because she didn't have employment during that time. So all of that, we just decided to.
You know, I said once the money started coming in, I'll take my cut. You know.
Yeah, but in the beginning, it was like, okay, we know you are, your times aren't that great. So we were like, okay, financially, whatever money we get back in the beginning until it gets big, then pay us. But we were like fine with her taking that financially. That's because we thought, of course, that she was more, well,
She was dry begging. She was dry begging with all of us. So when they started mentioning about the money, because that was like, it's not gonna start off like you getting paid a lot. So it was like, okay, so whatever she do get paid, we're just going to let her keep that. And Khan was like, he don't care. He's here to help her and the show. And I said, okay, in the beginning, if it's coming in low, that's fine. But once we do start getting numbers and we start getting paid, I want my part because I was taking time. I was working and I was doing work and I was promoting. I was making video. I was doing a lot of stuff while I was working from home, and it was a lot.
Yeah, I was fine not getting any money because I was doing the behind the scenes. I didn't make an appearance on the show until way later. So I wasn't too much worried about it. It gave me something to do. I'd be bored, but here.
Mind you,
and so I was fine. Here.
Mind you, also, we didn't know that we were supposed to have contracts. She had a contract. So from our understanding, after all of this ended and we started talking about it, she told them that we didn't want a contract because we wasn't asking to get paid. And that was like, well, is that true? And when we had a meeting with them, we was like, no, that is not true. We, except for Khan, we all said that we wanted to get paid. So nobody told her that we didn't want to get paid except for Khan. And so it went from there. And Peggy, you want to add on anything about?
Yeah. Like I was saying before, like I'm gonna speak on myself and Khan as well. Like me and Khan, we were like, yeah, for us the money wasn't a big thing. My idea and everyone else's idea agreed with me. Our goal was to get the show big enough so then we're all prospering. So we're all getting the bag. We're all making money off of this. But we knew in the beginning we weren't going to make much money. Like we knew that going in. It was not like a secret or anything like that. So we said, okay, we'll put in our time, our energy, and all of our ideas into this show. But my main focus and Khan's main focus and practically everyone's main focus was to make sure that Alicia got some form of enrichment from this, just so she can clear her mind, have fun with the show, and we all were having fun with it.
Mm-hmm. And we pushed her to do all of this because we wanted her to prosper. We wanted her to be able to take care of herself as well as her kids because we didn't want her in the slump that she just the way that she was. We was just trying to make sure that she was getting out of that and to be better going forward. So that was our main thing. We was just trying to help her get a better life, and she definitely did that. But the way she went about doing that, she did it under false pretenses. So, y'all want to add anything before I play Khan part about him being,
No, go ahead.
That was it.
Yeah, and also let me say this: we definitely ignored all of the red flags in the beginning, and that was on us. Like that was on us, and we take that and we understand that now. So we're not playing victim. We're not playing woe is me. We're not doing none of that because I'm not asking for nobody to feel bad for me because I'm grown and I made a decision to help her against everything else that I saw that was happening. So that's on me.
Yeah, that's on us as well.
Yeah.
Nobody's
I
ever
mean,
been
that's
fine.
on all of us because we saw like it. Because I think probably the newer one when it came to TikTok. So I didn't know all of the stuff that had happened, and me seeing her watching Blaze lives, and then seeing her and like she's breaking down, crying about stuff that's going on with her. Like I've been, well, I'm still, a mommy, and I still have my child, and so I've been in a position to where if I can help, I'm gonna help because I've been there before, but I pulled myself out of it and did what I needed to do. Oh, topic.
And so also, just going forward, her termination letter is she got terminated for sexual harassment, in which we fixing to get into. Nobody stole nothing from her. We didn't have a choice but to either drop her and drop the show, or like everybody quit,
Yes, so
or
it
start
wasn't
anew.
someone came in, we were jealous and stole the show. None of that happened because in all honesty, I was offered a show before she did whatever she did. So no one was jealous of her or trying to, nobody was jealous.
And
And
you know,
Not
if we
visible.
And if we learn so much about why she was fired, she can also show her termination letter. And we also have one of the bosses that is willing to collaborate the reason she was fired.
no
So
one
there's no reason
plotted
for us to
against
lie.
her. No one plotted against her to take her life, well, to take her show or any of that, to take her position. Nobody wanted. We didn't do it. No.
It's all right. Um,
She did. She did. And that's all I'm gonna say until this is played. She did.
Tiffany.
so we'll play my part. Just
I
on what
no,
happened.
no, hold on. No. Double D, no.
Double
You
D,
have
no.
always been my baby, okay? You just wanted to play hard to get, all right? But then I finally got you. Go ahead. Sorry.
Also, mind is once. Let me say this before I play his
Definitely
part.
better.
Once we started realizing she was lying and she was doing sketchy stuff behind the scenes, that's when I was like, okay, let me start keeping receipts. Let me start recording stuff. Let me make sure I have proof if anything goes sideways. Because once you start being distrustful, that has my antennas up, and I'm not going to give you the benefit of the doubt any longer. So while she's saying we plan a private recording, it was because she was lying. Like once you start lying, you have no more credit of us believing anything that you say.
And so when it comes to that, I mean, we were also being recorded. We didn't know until a slip up of a screen. You try to move something while we're like going through TikTok. Yes, we did that as well. We would be in Zoom just going through like that. So there was a mishap of
We'll
moving
get to
something
that.
out of the way. And then we see, well, I know I saw this little recording thing, and that's what threw these little antennas up. Where it's like, okay, I see what this is. And therefore, that even showed me more that were you really in this friendship for friendship? Because I don't record any of my friends like that. People I've known since forever, I don't record them. I don't have a need to record. Because I don't plan on, I mean, that's like me, let me see what I can get on this person and use it against them later. When, baby, I'm born. You can look up whatever you want to do. You ain't going to find nothing. Come to my house if you want to. But you're not going to find anything on me. And whatever you do find, baby, I lived my life. But
Okay.
go ahead.
Anybody want
Sorry.
to add anything before I play this?
No, just whatever you hear. Child.
I mean,
Okay, so this is Con part.
So at like 4:00 in the morning, she starts hitting me up. Now, mind you, this has happened multiple times before with her and Vixen messaging me at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Con, we need you. And then I get into the fucking Zoom And, you know, Vixen's mad, Alicia's crying, and what the fuck happened, blah, 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 blah. So I thought that's what it was. But I didn't see the message like until the next day. It was like 4:30 in the morning. And it was literally 2 missed phone calls and like 4 text messages. Khan, answer your phone. Khan, where are you? Khan, why aren't you answering? I need you. And it's like, what the fuck? I wake up though, like, you know, text. I'm like, what the fuck is going on now? So I messaged her and I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, get into Zoom. It's me and Nisi here. And I'm like, okay. So I pop into Zoom and she's just kind of talking like, sort of like shy and cutie, trying to be anyway, you know what I mean? Like, oh, something happened, and da da da, and you know how I would never be with anybody outside my race, but I had a dream about you. I'm like, okay. She's like, well, do you want to know about it? Nisi was there.
I was there. I'm pause right quick. But I was there. But once she wanted to go into detail about what her dream was, I put my phone down and I went up the hall and started on my paperwork that I had to do. So I left because I was like, okay, this is not for me to hear because it's not my business. So I put my phone down and I left.
She's like, do you want to know about it? And I'm like, I don't know. Do I? And she's like, well, we had sex. I'm like, okay, well, I'm good. You know what I mean? And so, like that, it dropped there, and I thought it was done. And then for a couple more days, or maybe it was like 2 times out of like a span of like 3 days, she would bring it up in the group, but almost like covertly. You know what I mean? So it's like, what the fuck? And then another day, it was just her, me, and Nisi in a group. And she says again, she's like, I just can't get the dream out. We were talking about the show. We all 3 were discussing things with the show. And all of a sudden, Alicia comes, I just can't get the dream out of my head. And I responded to her like, well, you better get it out of your fucking head because we got work we got to do, right? We got a show we got to do. Mm-hmm. And she got quiet. That night we had a show, right? That was the first show that got messed up with Pixie. Because we did the fucking show, and during the show...
Do you want to talk about the state that she was in during that show? Because none of us was there but Tisha.
Yeah, I think it was Khan, myself, her, Pixie. Everyone else was unavailable that night. But that night, it was a poop show. It was a poop show. I mean, intoxicated, off her behind. And like you getting up, like our thing is when we're recording the show, we try to shoot. If we're recording and we're not live, we try to shoot it as if we're doing a live. So that's minimum breaks in between. Like we want it to go with smooth. That cuts down editing for our producers. So we try to do it as smooth as possible. If you're on a live show, there's no, oh, I need to get up and use the bathroom, or I need to do this and I need to do that. This type of distraction. You can't get your words together. Like you just can't figure out what you're doing. Like it's like, come back. Like that's what it was. Like you couldn't get your words together. And so that night it was a poop show. And then in the middle of it, like she said, I went in the Zoom before that and she said something about a dream about Khan. I didn't know in depth. And actually I'm thinking I found that out after, because she made a comment during the show about a dream and then she referenced Khan. She was like, right, Khan? Actually, it was like, sorry. Right, Khan? And I'm sitting there like, okay, I don't know what the heck is going on until after, when it was broken down about the dream and whatever took place in the dream. I don't know. I don't need to know whatever happened in the dream. I don't need to know about any fluids being exchanged in the dream. I'm good on that. I don't need to know. But that show was just, it was messed up the whole night, and that it was just wasn't together. And that was the first time recording. I was like, I don't ever want to do this again. But yeah,
Okay.
that was that night.
You're fucking doing the live show as far as I knew it was live, but whatever. And she says the same comment. She's like, well, I don't sleep. Something about I don't sleep with anybody outside my race except I would for one person. But Con, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, well, what the fuck are you like on the show? And it just like it put me into like I don't even want to be on this fucking show now. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that was basically the end of her saying things, because I think I was mad. I took a day off. I didn't talk to anybody. Then the next day I came on I hit her up and said, hey, we need to talk. Now, mind you, it's like, I think I texted her at like 11 o'clock, maybe 11:30. She habitually would hit me up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, no fucking problem. Blow my fucking phone up. But I hit her up at like 11:30, and I'm like, look, I'll talk to you about some stuff. And okay. So I call her, and I went into it. I was like, look, this shit makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't really want that to go on anymore. And then I went into the show like, hey, look, and then also you need to step up your game, because you're really not doing hardly anything. Like, you're just relying on everybody else to do it. And if you
Okay, and let me pause this right quick. Whenever we would have any kind of arguments or any kind of spats, we would try to handle it without them, like in Zoom, have meetings, so that way when we did get ready to record, it wouldn't affect our recording. So we tried to handle it without the producers, because we really didn't want to bother them with what we had going on, because it was unfair to them to burden them with what was going on when all we had to do was settle it ourselves. But behind the scenes, that's what Alicia was doing. She was calling and texting the producers and didn't want nothing. Like, she was constantly calling and texting them. And I was like, okay, so where did she find the time to do this? Because we was constantly on Zoom. So while we was on Zoom, she was on mute calling and texting the producers, getting on their nerves, and they're trying to do their jobs with their other shows that they have to do. But then yet you're sitting here calling them, crying, asking them, did I do something wrong? Or can you help me with this? Or can you help me with that? When the questions she was asking them, we had already had the conversation in Zoom. So she would still go from that conversation and go to the producers and bother them with that.
if you want to be successful, like if you really want to be successful with this, then you kind of have to push for it. You know what I mean? Just rely on everybody else to do the legwork, and you just show up and talk. Like, you know what I mean? And she's like, yeah, I understand, Papa. I understand. And it's like, okay, cool. And then the next day, that's when she started going to all you guys, telling everybody that I like fucking attacked and bit her head off and handled her and all that shit she said. And that's not what happened. You know, like I just fucking talked to her and told her what I was thinking and feeling, and I didn't even raise my voice. Like I just, you know, and then everything else is the fucking. Then we had the meeting, and you know that's all recorded. And then the apologies recorded, the admission all recorded. So
Right. Because
but I mean, it was just hurt. Like the first day that she told me, you know, like I had a dream about you. Do you want to know about it? And I was like, I didn't know what the dream could be, because maybe I was riding a fucking goddamn unicorn or something. It was funny. I don't know. And I was just like, I don't know. Do I? And like I said, Nisi was there. But I don't know if Nisi was actually there, because a lot of times Nisi would just come into the group and sit there and then go off and do something else. Because Alicia's nagging her to I don't want to be alone. And,
I know. Where's my
so,
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not like, I'm sure she was there at one of the conversations when I told her, like, you need to get over it. But the first one, I was like, when she said we had sex, and I was like, okay, I don't need to know any more about it. Like, I was clear that I wasn't interested in that conversation. I didn't say it mean. I was just like, pointed. Okay, well, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to. Like, I'm not mad at you. You can't control your fucking dreams, but I don't need to hear about it. And then probably another fucking, I don't know, 5 to 7 more times in Zoom, she would bring it up, and then she brought it up on the show, and fucking, dude, it was super uncomfortable.
I felt it on the show. I felt it. It was so uncomfortable when she brought it up on the show. It was so unnecessary. Nobody needed to hear that. Because I felt
the topic wasn't even about, like, it had nothing to do with anything we were talking about. She just randomly fucking, and she was drunk too. And that's what kind of made me mad was, it's like, okay, you show up to the show drunk, you're slurring your fucking words. At one point, she got up in the middle of the show and left for like 5 minutes, and we're all just sitting there like, what the fuck just happened?
And mind you, this show was when we had a special guest, so this was very embarrassing to have this happen when we have a special guest. Like, this is not how you're supposed to conduct yourself, especially when you have a special guest going on. Like, you.
Because I'm thinking that was her first time on the show. I'm thinking, because I know she came on ours, but first time. This is what you're doing. It's like I would come back and be like, I don't want to record with this drunk. So. It was extremely unprofessional. It was just a mess. It was a mess that night, and it just, to start over recording something, that whole night was just a mess, and I was over it after we finished, and I was just like, that was like the hardest, cringiest thing. I would rather get a colonoscopy than record that same show over again. Sorry.
And then when she comes back, she does that. And it's like, okay, this is fucking stupid. I'm already kind of pissed off that she's not doing any work. I'm going to call her, but I didn't want to call her that night because I was fucking mad. And so I waited a day just to cool off and have a fucking civil conversation with her. Now, I do have an abrasive way of speaking sometimes. I get that. But I literally went into the conversation with that state of mind. Like, okay, people say I'm abrasive. Let me talk softer and nicer to her. So I went out of my way to kind of baby her a little bit when I talked to her. So there was no, like, blah, 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 you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't, like, berating or nothing like that. And when we got off the phone, she's like, I understand, you're right, okay, Papa. She kept calling me fucking Papa. And, that was it. You know what I mean? Like, she acted like everything's cool, and she got it. And I think she just sat there and thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, fuck, I don't want to do no work. So, hold on, let me turn everybody against fucking Khan, because, that would be easier than me having to do work.
Yeah, that's when she decided to flip it. That's why I didn't trust the situation, because I knew we had talked about it and how, you were comfortable with what you were doing. So to me, it didn't.
And to get one thing straight, me and Khan had got into it before, and I text our group chat, right? Alicia went apeshit on me because how dare I leave the Zoom and text our group chat, right? Because there were some people that were in the group chat that was not in the Zoom, and how wrong I was and how I should have been took it out of Zoom. She literally called everybody one by one, telling everybody a different story. I texted with one story. Con was in the group chat. All of us were in the same group chat. So how am I wrong, but you're not wrong?
And
You don't have to take
you said
accountability for
happy.
that, but I have to take accountability for mine? That's weird. But go ahead. Sorry.
And whenever you tried to critique her or tried to be like, okay, well, just give her advice or just say something that she did do wrong, she would get defensive. She would stop talking. She would not come around. Like, it was getting to the point to where you can't really say much to her because it was like,
Yeah.
it would go in the
Absolutely.
opposite direction. And so it started building up to where to a big argument.
Mhm.
It makes sense how all of a sudden she got everybody to like try to switch sides and gang up on you. But I was like, no. You're not about to play that. Because what she did to you was like, it was wrong. It was fucking wrong. And she had no right to do that. And then try to flip it. So she looked like she was the good person. You were the bad guy. I'm like, nah. That's why I didn't believe none of that. I really didn't believe none of that. So no.
And it's like, you know, when all that shit went down, it wouldn't have even came out had she not done what she did. Like, I was willing to keep that conversation between me and Alicia, you know what I'm saying? And then when she comes on and fucking, like, we had that goddamn meeting, and pretty sure one of y'all recorded it. But we had that first meeting, and she's getting all fucking loud, and then, you know, I got loud at a point because she wouldn't let me fucking talk, and she kept just saying, just fucking lying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, whatever, you know, blah, 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 da, 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 this, that, and the other thing, okay, cool. And the apology thing, you know, I think somebody recorded that one too, so it's like an admittance of guilt, like, you know, she even said that I never meant to do that. I never meant to make you feel uncomfortable. It's like, if I tell you no, and then you keep pushing it, how did you think that was going to make me feel?
Right.
You know, like I don't want to fuck you. Like, that's shit, man. Honestly, right now, I don't want to fuck anybody. Like, and I don't know. I don't fucking know, man.
Now,
Definitely exhausted. You try to let it go.
yeah.
And here we are.
When we had this meeting, to tell her like the stuff that was going on and the way that we felt about how the production was going and like how, because we had a meeting with the producers and they was like, okay, so what I want y'all to do is start splitting up your chores and give them to different people. And so as they was telling us what, like, they was like, okay, Alicia, you made me take control of the topics. Well, you know, Niecy has always done it, and she started off and she has a book of everything, and I just don't want to take that from her. And I was like, no, it's cool. I can send you all of the topics that I have written down, and then you can take it from there. You know, because that's what they wanted us to do. They wanted everybody in that group involved with producing and promoting the show. They didn't want just 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. They wanted everybody.
Yeah. And it's like, we're employed. You ain't shit to do. So there wasn't really a reason why you couldn't. And being that this was your baby, we were helping, yes, but this is your baby. You should be more hands-on, more, I want to get my hands in this. I want it this way, this way, this way. This is how it needs to go. Instead, it was, oh yeah, you guys can do that. You guys can do that. Yeah.
I had the Instagram, the Facebook, the making of the promo videos. Niecy had the topics, the videos. You know, Con was making videos. Like, Double D and, you know, them kept saying, Alicia, you need to take over the Facebook group. Like, you need to take over that. That's you. You need to be the face of that. And she would never respond. She would never be like, all right, I got this, Red, send me the info. And I'm like, okay, because I can only do so much. I got a 3-year-old child. He's, he's crazy. I'm doing the best I can, okay? But that's why Khan called her and was like, you need to at least, you need to do something other than just show up at this point. Like, you're pretty much gonna reap the benefits and you haven't really put in no work at the end of the day. And her just taking over the Facebook group became such a hassle. Then what else? Then she wanted to try to take over everything and take away everybody's job. So everybody else would have just been sitting here twiddling their thumbs because now Alicia wants to do everything. Bro,
Then
why?
Short and
We're still in this together. Take this business page and post. That's all you have to do. We got everything else, but do
and I want to
something.
mention something too. And also, she started getting short because we talked to her about our feelings of what we want her to do. We wanted her just to promote more, maybe reach out to more people, try to secure somebody on the show. Like, that was our biggest thing. It's just trying to get more, someone who's knowledgeable on the topic, or just someone who wants to discuss like the after dark stuff.
Tap
So
the
we
screen
felt like
share
she just-
live, please.
screen tap.
Yeah.
Let's act like
guess.
with the Blaze Academy. Tap the screen, please. Like
Get live.
shares up.
But I will admit, like, Alicia just did like one thing was where she created like, well, no, actually, no, I'm sorry. Contrae, I believe, may have assisted with creating like business cards.
Cards for her, yes.
Business cards for her. So yes, Trey, we love you. I know you're out there. So he created like a business card for the Madame Rosso. And she like handed those out. But this was starting to get late in the game when we wanted her to do more like promotion, actual media promotion, like doing a video, creating topics. And that's where I was like, okay, let's schedule a meeting, just us, no producers or anything. We're going to discuss, okay, what's our next plan for the show? How are we going to organize these different ideas? So while Red, Neezy, and Tisha, they were handling like either doing the art for the show, deciding on some topics, like I was like, okay, let me try to see if I can organize a couple of things so we get the show more going. Because mind you, like, we're all doing this out of like trying to promote the show. We're all doing this out of our own time. Having someone do promos, media promotion, topics, that's a team that normally would get paid. So we're investing all of our time into this because we see somewhere. But when we're giving 100% and you're giving 35%, that's where the problem started happening. And that's where the inconsistency started going in. And then when we finally spoke to her about it, that's when she decided to get short. This was, especially since she no longer felt comfortable with Khan doing a takeover show. And this was an idea well before she started acting up. This idea was going to consist of Khan taking over the Madame Rose show, where it's Khan on live, and we're going to do men versus women topic. It was a great idea. Everyone was literally on board. Alicia herself was on board with the idea, but because she couldn't flip everybody on Khan, and we were trying to get her to do actual work, it started to change where she said, "Oh, I'm not comfortable with Khan, with the Khan takeover anymore." As soon as she said that, I already knew that she had a vendetta at that point. I felt like she was ready to just be like, you know what? No, I'm going to take everything. I'm going to take the YouTube. I'm going to take the Facebook. I'm just going to do all of it. And that's when we all saw the red flag. The red flag was right in our face at that point. Because now she took away the idea for the Khan takeover, which would have been a hit because we already had people lined up to do the Khan takeover. That's pretty much where like that. After that, the next day, short answers for everything. I'm going to take over this and that.
And also when we was looking for a
I'm
new
just
guest.
doing my part.
Yeah.
That's the response for everything we got that day. Just trying to do my part. Just trying to do my part. We didn't
And
ask you to do that.
we
I'm
were
just
really
trying to do my
confused.
part. But
We
what's
was
wrong with
like,
you?
we was like, okay, well, if there is any male guest, to be dealt with, I think it shouldn't be Alicia to deal with them because of the way that she acts in the group with the advances and just being just out. She made it uncomfortable to be around. Just the way that she would talk, the way that she would like it was certain stuff she did. I'm not gonna get into details about it because I don't need to burn. I was trying to burn the memory out in the first place, but it was stuff that she did that made people uncomfortable to the point to where Zoom was not even fun anymore.
Yeah,
It was annoying.
yeah.
Definitely weird to
It was
hear.
because we went to Zoom to keep her out of trouble, and when we first got there, it was amazing. Couldn't wait to get on Zoom to congregate, not congregate, but congregate, and we would be sitting there cooking with each other and just talking, making dinner. We're doing all of these things together, and it was nice. It was really nice because I'm away from my family and she's away from your family. Like everyone else has some kind of distance or not have their family in house. So it was nice. And we grew an attachment to each other. We all collectively went there for her. And I'm guessing, or I should assume, I ain't gonna assume, I know that she probably assumed that since we were all there for her, that we would never have a reason to individually talk without her being included. So I'm assuming that's why she was able to tell us all different stories, not thinking that, hey, one day these people are going to get, the light bulb is going to go off and it's going to be discussed of this is what actually happened. She wasn't thinking that we were all going to talk behind the scenes without her, because she probably felt like, she's the reason for us all coming together. And, they're not going to talk without me. Nothing else will happen without me. It's all because of me that they're here.
It was like
And after this is when we started having our own communications without Alicia. And this is when we started it was like, okay, I think it was Tisha. She was like, yeah, I just sent her some money for the light bill. And then Pagan was like, hold on, you did what? Because I just did that. So in this of her line about what she needed and she was getting money from everybody probably between days or in the same week.
It was days where we were like, hold on, no, I sent her for money for this. And so, we started then thinking like, okay, if she's being this way, let's just look into some stuff even deeper. And that's when we were like, okay, send your receipts, send your things. And Pagan blew us all out the damn water. But it was all kind of like, we were like, hold on, I sent her money. She said she needed money for this. I sent her money for this. And then,
Yes, Red.
so she had her favorites, and you could always tell who her favorites were. And then after hearing all this, you can tell why they were the favorites. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, mute up for me.
Oh shit!
Go ahead.
Sorry.
she was she knew how to pull at heartstrings, because clearly single mother here, times were hard at one point in my life, thank God came through that, but she knew how to pull at those heartstrings, and she knew that, okay, sometimes I can be mean appearing, but if I care for you, I'm going to do what I need to do for you to help you. The same with Pagan. She would go after Pagan, because here's Pagan, she's just as sweet as she want to be. Don't let her face right now fool you, but she's just as sweet as she can be. And she knew, like, okay, if I pull at these heartstrings, if I use my child or this situation for Pagan, if she used the pets, then we gonna see what we can do for you. And that's how she did it. So she went for the people she knew, like, okay, I know this person, they gonna, I can tell them this and they gonna give me this. Say, I need help for this, or I can't record a show if I don't have any power. If I
Yeah. And yeah, I definitely did help her out a lot. I'm gonna admit that because I'm the type of person that's like, if I care about you, I'm gonna go the extra mile. Because to me, even though I talk about being part of capitalism, it is what it is. But I know at the end of
need
the
that
day, when you
money.
pass on, you can't take the money with you. So I really opened my heart and my safety and comfortability with Alicia because, like I said, I was originally a troll account. Most of y'all probably see me in your comments acting up, and that was just how I rolled, and that's how I gained people to talk to me because I just like to be funny. That was just my thing. Um, and Alicia, even when I think back to it, there was definitely red flags. It's
Yeah.
the cliche red flags that you just ignore because you thought that, hey, I have a group of people. These are, my family. I can finally be who I am, like going on camera, talking about personal things. And I felt like with Alicia, I could have done that, but she just made me feel like if I like the way she would go about it was just manipulative.
Yeah.
She'll be in a situation where maybe her light bill, like she needs money for her light bill. Oh, can I get some money for her? Oh,
Some soft.
man, I don't know if I have enough dog food, and dang, I think I need a gaming chair. Oh, like I want to wear wigs on the show. So if you didn't get the hints, that's how she would manipulate me
I
with
want
with
to
just
ring
to get me
like
to buy these things.
I want to ring like y'all's. I
I
want to
don't
be
want to just
looking
like
good like
y'all.
y'all. But I can't afford to do it. You could tell it was dry begging. It was like, okay, I'm gonna say this, so maybe that way they'll get the hint and be like, and just volunteer, so I don't have to ask.
Yeah.
And me, I would just half of the time because I have two kids. One is autistic, and we do speech therapy, and that costs a whole lot of money. So I was just like, girl, me too. I wish I had it too, cause these bills are kicking my butt because I'm not with giving money, but I will buy you what you need and send it to you.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I would not give out money, and that's just because I just don't do that. So if you say what you need, I'll get it and I'll send it to your house, and you got what you need, and you don't have to say that you need it or something happened, the reason why you couldn't pay for it. So that was my part on what I did.
I want to mention something too.
Tiffany, you want to say
Oh,
something?
so sorry, Tiffany, go ahead.
I just wanted to say real quick, hey, how y'all doing? Y'all look so great. Look at Pagan over there looking smashable. Don't y'all look so good? Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Nisa looking all pretty with y'all. Y'all, I'm so sad to see that you guys have had to come up here and do this. Hi, my sweet that's my baby mama right there. Me and her Uchi one day. Y'all don't know about it, but we did.
Lord,
We
we
met at the
talk.
Motel 6. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to tell everybody our business. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry that y'all have to come up here and do this. I really hate how things turned out. What really, unfortunately, things happen. However, I just wanted to say really quickly that the network that you guys were a part of was not privy to any of this information that was going on until after the fact. Once the network was made aware of the instances that they're speaking about, and also an investigation was conducted, and things were validated, then we handled things accordingly. Now, due to different things, I won't be able to speak on specifics. These guys are welcome to speak specifically to each matter that they would like to. However, I just want to say that the network, although I'm not a part of it anymore, was not aware of these instances. And when we were made aware, we did handle things accordingly. We tried to make sure that everyone, including Khan, who's not here, felt comfortable and that they were taken care of, and that was the of the utmost importance, to make sure that everyone felt safe and that everyone felt that they were heard, even the person that we're speaking about. You know what I mean? So everyone was heard, and then we made a decision accordingly. These guys did absolutely nothing wrong, and I'm gonna keep it a stack from the beginning. they devoted a lot of their time, precious time, because a lot of them have children, they have things going on that they're doing, and they devoted a lot of time into that show, more so than maybe some would argue that is was more than a person that was given the show. But they came in, the show was wonderful. It was one of the highest rated shows on the network when it was there. It really was, and then it continued to be one of the highest rated shows once it switched over to the Taboo Table. So um once it switched over to the Taboo Table, it will continue to be one of the highest rated shows. I produced that show from like the second episode of, I believe, second or third episode of Madam Rose Convos, and then over to Taboo Table. I had the honor of doing every single one of them until they start pissing me off. But anyway, uh, I love y'all. I just wanted to say that
Sunday.
We love
you
to.
you know what? I love y'all so much, man. I got to know. I already knew Niecy. I did not know Wet Lips and Red and Pagan and Con and Vixen. I didn't know any of them, but I got an opportunity to know all of them. So that was the best part for me, was getting to work so closely with them. They're hard workers, very sweet, very kind, loving, and they also cared a whole lot about the person that was initially hosting that show, and they did everything that they possibly could to make it work. It was not their fault. So for someone to say that it was a decision that had to be made. So stop sending me stuff, y'all. Richard, y'all know I love me some Richard. Stop, Con. Y'all know I don't even get on live. So y'all know, look, soon as Niecy called me, she was like, I got to go take care of it. Baby, I said I was gonna be here. So let me roll on out. I just wanted to say that, make that known, because this is a legal liability that that the network was not privy, but once we were made aware of the instances of these egregious actions that were taking place and they were validated, we definitely took steps to make sure that everyone that knows about Standards TV was okay. All right, you guys, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Love y'all so much. You look beautiful. Keep on talking, keep on
Thank
walking,
you.
doing what you do.
Love you.
I'll talk to y'all soon. I'm gonna get back in the comments. Now, kick me out of here because I don't know how.
Oh, there you go. And also,
How the hell I get out?
Wait,
I think you gotta hit. I don't know.
You got-
most, I guess,
Oh,
or
there she
something.
goes. Yeah. Not drinking beer, just drinking sparkling cider. So don't.
we
Just
didn't
mention
want to get the producers involved because we were like, okay, if we get them involved with this, that's going to jeopardize her show.
Mhm.
So we're putting our grievances and everything that we was going through on the back burner, even after everything she did for her show, because we didn't want it to end for her, because we wanted her to go somewhere with that so she was able to provide for her family. So we stayed quiet for the sake of her show and the sake of her future. And that was after she did us wrong. And after that happened,
For freaking friendship, we still wanted to be cool with her.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like she failed to realize, is that she just felt so victimized, right? In that aspect, that she was just like, and just went on and did her own thing at that point. But it's like, we're only coming to you because we care. Because if we didn't care, we would all been left.
Yeah.
we would have
Yeah,
been telling
100%.
them about what was going on, and we could have just been off the show. Like, it just didn't even matter to us. Like, if we didn't care, we would have been done in this. Like, it would have.
It's like we
Well,
did the
yeah,
show
now.
because we genuinely love the show. And of course, we love talking about the Oochie Coochie, the nasty. Like, that's something that we really love to talk about. So why not talk about it and get it out there? Like, let's discuss these things. Like, and we had that bond where it was just so comfortable, even though we don't know who's watching or what they're doing while they're watching it. We just genuinely loved our camaraderie. Like, we loved our group all together. And so doing the show with them, like, it wasn't even like it would be working and having that. So yeah.
And that was until we did the confronting on the parts you need to pull and everything. And then it's just started to get awkward. And so it was like, okay, one meeting, it didn't get better. Let's have another meeting. It didn't get better. And then after that, that's when we had to get the producers involved. And so after that, I called her one day on my way to work. And I asked her, I was like, and I had the Zoom recorded, but I can't find it. But I asked her, I was like, okay, is any of this true about Pagan and Tisha and Vixen and, you know, of them giving you money and you like on the same thing? Like, how much did you tell Pagan this was, and how much did you tell Tisha? And she completely denied it. She said, no, I didn't say that. No, I didn't do that. No, that's not true. So after that, I was like, okay, cool. So I got off the phone and I was like, okay, y'all, put y'all receipts together so we can get this together so we can send it to the producers going on. And after that, that's when she was called into a meeting and they had the conversation, and she was terminated as well for sexual harassment.
Because they were not
And
aware of all this. Producers
yeah,
were not aware of all this. And then, you know, I think we had the meeting with them separately from her. We had the
so
meeting with them and we laid everything out. Like, we were like, okay, this is what's going on. Because Khan didn't want to record with her, didn't want to have really any dealings with her. So it was like kind of becoming like where it's a very uncomfortable situation where it's like, okay, you got to throw this bad apple out. So, because we're still her. So we still have all of this going on. So yeah, we were just like, yeah, we have to have this discussion. And that's when we finally brought them in, when there was no fixing this for sure. And there wasn't any real acceptance of what you've done. So yeah.
And so after that, we all blocked her. We went our separate ways. And then she come up and was like, well, can I have a conversation with y'all? And I just want to talk to y'all. I just want to tell y'all about how that I'm sorry and all of this. And I was like, well, let me get back to them. Let me get back to the group and see if they actually want to do this. And so once I went back to them and I was like, this is the closure. Like, if y'all want closure, this is the time for us to get closure. And since she's already denying that we gave her money, we was helping her do this, we were helping her do that, somebody record this Zoom just in case once we end this Zoom, she want to get on live and start talking crazy. We'll have proof on what actually happened, and she's not going to sit up here and try to seem like we re-recorded a private Zoom for malicious intentions. We did it because we knew you was lying and you was scamming. So, and mind you, after this Zoom that we played, and once we confronted her, because I'm finna play it, she went to when the producers asked her if any of this was true that you finna hear in the Zoom, she told them, no, it is not true. She didn't do none of this. She didn't make Khan feel uncomfortable. She denied it all. And so when she denied it, I sent them the Zoom so they would have proof on what happened, because she was denying it. And had we not recorded this, it would have been her word against ours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we recorded this. And
Receipts versus words. Just saying.
Before you play it, so I just want to go into scamming so people can understand why we're saying scamming, especially when it comes to me, because I did give the most. Because it's kind of like when you have those, like, I don't want to use that terminology, but it's almost as if like you care about someone and you're helping them with little things. Like, she'll ask me for like, oh, can I get money, for a pack of cigarettes? Oh, can I have money here, money there? It wasn't like, oh, she wouldn't ask me. She asked me 1 month and then the next month. No, it was sporadic during the entire month where she was asking me things constantly. And unfortunately, because I cared about her, and every time she did it, she would just constantly love bomb me. Like, oh, that's my Pagan. I can rely on my Pagan. But the way she would say it is as if like she's making you she's not trying to force it out of you. Like, she's not trying to say, hey, give me your money, or like that. The way she says it to you, it's kind of like she's saying, oh, you know, if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. Like, you know, it's okay. It's okay. And it's the way she was saying that, like, you feel compelled to help her. And that's when she caught on, because if like with what she was telling me and how she was saying, it like compelled me to help her, especially if she brought up her child, or like her animals, because I'm a big fur baby. Like, I have a bunch of fur babies that I care about. So she knew exactly what to say to get me to give. And I have responsibilities. I have a family I have to take care of. Like, I have things I need to pay for. But I said, you know what? I care about her. I want her to be up straight. So when she would ask me something, I would give it to her. But I know in the back of my head, as small as the voice was in my head, that, you know, you shouldn't be giving so much and giving so much and giving so much. But the love bombing was so constant. And I just felt like because of all that, I would just give whatever she needed.
And also, no, she wasn't working at that time. She was claiming that her back was hurting, and there were other things that was going on that made us believe that her back was not hurting at all. But we're not going to get into that. So we're finna play the Zoom. It is 33 minutes long.
Wait, and it's only scamming because she asked them both alone. Neither one of them knew that she was asking the other one for money, that they were sending the money for the same exact thing.
And never disclose to the other person that, hey, I got this money for this already, but you're still asking for it to take care of this. And it's kind of like, okay, after we started comparing dates and amounts, and like, well, I was told that this needed to be paid. This was the balance. We're told different balances. We're told different amounts. Like, so that's when it becomes like, okay, so if you had the money, why were you still asking money from, you know, for me for this? And then not in addition to other people that were giving that are not in this circle right here that came out with other points like, oh no, she got this from this person. And it's like, well, what the hell? Like, baby, I got my own bills to pay.
Or she'd be like, yeah, Aiden wants some pizza, or he wants this, or he wants that. I can't get it for him, so he just gonna be eating this. And so, you know, somebody step up, mainly pagan. Okay, give me the address of where you at, and the phone number to whatever restaurant you're trying to go to, and I will get it for him. It was always using us for something that she wanted. The estimate total was like around.
I would say, I'm gonna say over, including gifts that I bought her and other people have bought her, is definitely over $2,000. Over $2,000.
And that's just here, not other people that have contributed, that we found out later contributed to things.
So with the other people that did contribute, that would go up to like maybe 5.
Yeah.
So this is the Zoom. It is 33 minutes long. So y'all ready?
Yeah, it's 33 minutes, y'all.
So go grab a drink.
Mm-hmm.
I should have read into the signs about that, and I'm so sorry. I want to apologize to the rest of you for calling you and telling you about what me and Khan talked about privately. I shouldn't have done that. I should have said what I had to say to Khan. We should have worked it out. Friends don't do that. And I'm sorry for the way I acted afterwards. When I had time to just say, hey, I was hurt. It hurt my feelings, and I don't know how to respond. I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. Instead, I just enthralled myself in trying to be meticulous about work in my mind at that time, doing my part when really I was just being a fucking asshole. And I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for everything. I have all the words to say I'm sorry. It forced me to look at myself. I'm always looking at who's attacking me, not who I'm hurting, not how I'm making it. And that is hard to look at, but I'm more than willing to look at, because y'all have been so good to me about everything. Y'all have been so good to me, and y'all did not deserve that type of treatment at all. And I'm so sorry.
Okay. Letitia, did you want to say anything?
Yes. Okay, it was a different car than what we had. Okay, thank you.
And the language is not going to be
How's it a
good.
different car?
FYI,
I'm in a blue RAV4. I mean, seriously, what the fuck? It's like, aside from everything, it's like I believed you with these people were saying about you on TikTok. I was like, those are just people. Those are, that's their character. And I didn't think that was your character until it was like, it's so manipulative. Like how you tell us this story about Khan, and we know how Khan is. We just went along with it and trusted you with that. And I became so angry at him. I was pissed at Khan, and I told Khan I was pissed at him. And then Nisi was like, hear both sides. And so that's when I was like, okay. And I spoke with Khan separately. And we were on the phone for, I think, maybe like an hour. And it was just like, what the fuck? Like, no. And nothing he said, everything that everyone in this circle has done for you was for improvement for you and Aiden and Asia. It's like everyone wanted you, every single person, people, and I told you, like, okay, myself, I'm not swimming in fucking money. I'm okay sometimes. And it's like anything extra I had, I sent to you. And it's like now we're comparing, and it's like you got damn near $2,000 up off of us. While I go to work and get cussed out, stand in the cold and the rain, and here you are, you just at home. And it's like, we all had so much, we were all behind you so fucking hard. So fucking hard, we're behind you and backing you. We done got all these other people, we against them, even though they still ain't shit either. But damn, it's like you had real people around you. And instead, you treated us, you started, after all this shit happened, instead of you thinking that, hey, this is constructive criticism. This is all, these critiques that Khan has put out, these are things that you would work on. Nothing he said was a damn lie. Nothing. And it's like, for this to be your baby, I mean, it may kind of be like a foster child, not your baby. I understand you love the show, but you didn't have that heart for it. Everyone else around you had that heart for it. Because we wanted you to win. We saw the damn things that people were saying about you and doing to you.
So what you're not about to do, you're not going to come in here and try to come at anybody on my panel because these are my sisters and you can get the hell up out my life.
You
Okay,
thought
why
you
you
ate.
there?
Bitch, give me that plate.
Go ahead, Red. Block her on out. Can you block her out on your page?
Trying to distract. Get your ass on now.
You got it? Okay.
Say something about it, and we have a meeting about it. You're cold and short with everyone. I didn't message you because I know how my temper is. And I'm like, I know if there's anything to be prepared, I know if I ever come at you, like, it ain't no coming back, because that's where I get to the point with people now. It's like, once we have that back, ain't no coming back. So therefore, I don't care what I say, and I don't care how you feel after. but you had some real fucking people around you. And instead of just taking that, sitting back with it, and I thought that, I was like, give her time. And we all said that after you left out that Zoom. What the fuck are y'all doing? Fucking go. After that Zoom, everyone was like, give her time. Because it's like if someone was to come, if something's your baby and someone come at you about your parenting, it's going to be defensive. So I understand the defensive part, and I said that in the meeting. I understand the defensive part. But for the next day, you're cold and short, and you're saying, oh, I'm not acting any different in the messages. That's when I was like, yeah, fuck this. Fuck that. And it's like after all that, you go and you start blocking folks. Like, what the hell did we do to you? What the fuck did we do to you? That's their whole character. I didn't block anyone. I deleted my social media. I deleted all of them. I just deactivated them.
Mine ass.
It's like all the, it's like for you to be cold and you didn't know resolution because you didn't see any fault in what you did until everything kind of really blew the fuck up. And then we get to the money part, and we comparing shit. And I'm like, hold on, she told me the light bill was $190. The other bill, I can't remember now how much the other bill was with the internet and stuff. So, and that's when I told you, I was like, on the first, that's when I can move a little bit more freely around that paycheck, because I have the VA check as well as my regular paycheck. And so the first, I'm always more free. And then they hear, okay, then you pay the bill. Peggy paid the bill. I paid the bill. You sitting there fucking eating out, and I'm making shit at home. I could be eating out because I go to fucking work every day. And that's some shit I can't deserve to do. But yet, I send you money. Now that I don't have it like that. And it's like, damn, we're comparing these dates with me, Peg, and Vixen. And we're like, hold the fuck up. Like, what the fuck? What difference is that from fucking Patrick? No difference. And it's like, we fucking love you. And it's like, damn, that's what we were to you. It's like, you saw a sucker and you licked it. But that's it for me. Anybody else got something to say? Y'all can go.
I think I'll say something. Because I'm trying to hold it in because I'm really fucking mad, like no doubt. Because out of everyone, I probably spent probably the most on you. I feel like I probably spent the most on you, and I literally felt like you took so much advantage of me. The way you spoke to me, the way you were like, oh, you know, I don't want to keep asking. You don't have any money for food, and it felt like you were manipulating me into giving you money because you knew I have a good heart. So at the end of the day, when I started realizing everybody has given you money, I literally felt like I was just a cash cow for you. That's really what it was. We didn't have a genuine relationship. All you saw us as a dollar sign. After we stood by you, cussed other people out because they try to come for you, at the end of the day, you proved all those people right that you were literally scamming the fuck out of all of us. Hard-earned money. If you were honest with us from the get-go, like, hey, like, I don't have anything, but, you know, Letitia paid for this and Lisa paid for this. No, you literally did double jeopardy. You literally went to me and Letitia. Literally did double jeopardy. You literally went to me and Letitia. And then you lied about what bills are being paid by who and what. That's not right because we work so hard for our money. We all have families that we gotta provide for. And you pull this fucking stuff when you say on lives, like, see this, I don't want people judging me for this and that. I don't want to ask nobody for nothing. But this is the reason why. You literally put all of us for suckers. When we try to help you and Aiden, that child does not deserve the shit that you're going through. He's an innocent child. But now you done fucked up a whole family that cared for you and for him and for your daughter. And it's not right. The next sucker you probably do this shit too, you gotta remember, karma comes right back fuck around. And you gotta realize that. You literally gotta realize that.
Okay, I'm gonna say this before we continue. We rock with Blaze over here, so please do not come in here doing this. If you're here to listen, please listen, but leave him out of this, please. Because if you can't, you'll just be muted. I want y'all to be here, and I want y'all to hear it, but don't do that.
Child, why you ain't tell me I was on mute? We're not trying to distract from anything else that's happening or that happened anywhere else. We're certainly here for this, and after this, we're done. So let's just take it in while we can. Let's not change any narrative or go after anyone else. We're just gonna do this here. We're dealing with this situation in particular. Thank you.
You get cared about. You staying up late at night, being on the Zoom with you, knowing damn well some of us might be behind the work because we care so much about you.
Do what y'all gotta do.
And I'm fucking hurt. That shit hurt me because now I gave you my trust. I came out as a person. I was never gonna show myself on the internet. I was gonna be like your moral support in the background. But I said fuck it because I trusted you, and I put myself out there for you and for the family that I gained. Thank God I gained all these good people around me because I swear to God, as much as I want to say you deserve to have a good life at this point, I hope you get the work. I hope you feel how much pain you caused everybody, especially me. But I'm just fucking done because I'm getting fucking heated. I can't. I'm going to mute. I can't.
Did your content savior get muted? Because I don't think they were saying anything bad, were they? I think someone else came in and said something asking about Blaze.
After you and everybody said to chill, she kept it going. So whoever handled that in whatever aspect they handled that.
My bad.
Leave it at that.
Set up right now. I'm extremely hurt. I'm hurt because I thought that I was the only one helping you, and like I'm not about that shit. But what hurts is that seeing all of this, I'm just like, what the fuck? And I made it very fucking clear that people just don't fucking lie to me. Just be upfront with me. I already went through stimulus fucking shit with police, and man, I just got out of that shit not too long ago. That shit still fucked me up. Because I care too much about people.
You might be.
You're not for Toby. So not too much on Toby, please. Thank you.
All this shit happened, and it fucking week it felt like. It felt like this, like life was just on fucking pause. This shit's fucking exhausting. The only people that I trust is like the ones that are here. I can't even
We got you, Zoe.
Yeah.
trust you. I literally sat here and fucking watched how these people did you. And I kept wondering, like, why would they do that? That's so fucking cruel. I had your back. Like, I'm so goddamn hurt. Like, I can't go numb. I can't do that because there's still fucking people I care about. I still gotta be strong for my kids, but I am tired. I have broke down to my husband 3 times already of how fucking tired I am. I had to go on goddamn Facebook and make a post and tell.
So this is Vixen. I'm very skeptical about everything that she said here because she was. We just planned a whole Zoom, but whatever she's saying, I just take it as a grain of salt because
That's her. She's not on this panel to say if she wants to say something on her own, she can do that, or if she's reading feels so good with leaders, then that's fine as well. But we're just discussing our part, so we're here for just us.
Where am I taking no more? I'm not Superwoman no more. I'm fucking weak, man. I'm fucking weak right now. Because I don't know what to do. I don't know how to feel. I'm dealing with shit on the inside because I talked to Derek's cousin. I know everything that's going on, and I had to tell her I have to put the brakes on that for a minute. There's so time, and I'm just like, God damn, I'm like, can a bitch get a break? Like, I am extremely hurt, and I can't bounce back from this shit. Because when people hurt me, you get that one fucking time to cut me so deep to where I'm like, fuck this shit. I can't do it. But I am hurt. I am heartbroken because you introduced that baby to us, and I grew an attachment to him. I grew an attachment to him. Yes. And now he gonna feel like people just be leaving him, and I know how that feels. And didn't nobody leave him. Damn. This shit fucking hurts, man. Like, I'm so fucking hurt. I'm hurt. I would never expect that you would do this shit to me, man. Like, I can't, man. I'm fucking done talking. I'm fucking done talking, man.
So, what I want to say on this end is that the thing is, you could have just money and everything. And at the same time, even after we would have helped you with your bills, you still could have been like, hey, I need this or whatever. And you still would have got it because we were family. We would have still helped you. We made this space for you in the beginning, and then it turned into ours. And you ruined it.
And that's when we really connected and just...
Once I am loyal, then you give me a reason not to be.
Yeah.
I'm no longer. I'm done.